Welcome back to One Area.
Today we have 3 different experiments for you. We're going to show how storms happen, how clouds are made, and how lightning is formed. So what makes a storm? It's all about the air. Storms happen when warm air rises and cold air sinks, creating some serious chaos in the atmosphere. But how does this work? Let's use this bucket of water to demonstrate. Now this is very hot water in the red.
And this very cold water is blue.
So we're gonna slowly pour this blue water in over on this side. As you can see, it's sinking down to the bottom.
Blue, yeah, Mom.
And now on this side, we're gonna pour the hot water. Maybe I used too much water in there. But as you can see, the reason why it is turning purple up here is because the warm hot water is rising and the cold water wants to go down below it. In the middle, it creates a lot of turbulence and causes the two to mix. That's where the storms get created, is in that turbulent air. That's how tornadoes are formed and severe thunderstorms where we get hail and lots of lightning and thunder, is where that turbulent air comes in contact where the hot and warm air meet. Okay, we're going to try this again. Hopefully it works the way it's supposed to this time. It'll be a little bit more clear. We're going to put the hot water in a little cup here, and then I'm going to release that at the bottom of the jug, and we're going to pour our cold water in over here very gently. As you can see, the cold water just instantly sinks down in there. And now we're going to put our hot water in there. Now as we watch it happen, you can kind of see what's happening here, where the cold water is going underneath the hot water and the hot water is trying to remain on top of the surface. As they mix together, is exactly what happens in nature. Up in the sky is a cold front and a warm front hit, and that creates very turbulent air, which creates the thunderstorms. Aurora here is scared of thunder, right? We don't like thunder. So that's one of the reasons why we did this experiment, so we could learn that there's nothing to fear, that thunderstorms are this natural phenomenon, and that thunder itself isn't scary. Lightning is dangerous, but thunder itself is just rapidly expanded, heated air from the lightning, which is not dangerous to you, other than maybe to your ears. What you can see here, I'm going to try to get you a better shot here, because down here near the bottom, you can see where it's separated. As you can see, down there on the bottom is definitely blue, and up near the top is more red. And that's because the cold air wants to sink, warm air wants to rise.
Now it's going to do a cloud in the bottle.
So our cloud in the bottle is very simple. We got 2 empty plastic bottles, and we got some rubbing alcohol. All we need is a little bit of rubbing alcohol in the bottle. Whoop. Oh no. All right. Then we put our lid on the bottle tightly, and then we twist the bottle. When we let go of the bottle, instant cloud. If we can twist it more, get more pressure. You see? Instant cloud.
You never feel it.
You see that, how it's cloudy? Now the reason why this works is the change in pressure and temperature. By twisting the bottle, creating enough pressure to cool the alcohol and make the water vapor condense into tiny droplets. Just like how clouds are formed in the sky, it's all about temperature and pressure. When warm, moist air rises, it cools and water vapor condenses into droplets around the tiny particles. And bam, you get a cloud. It's like when you're holding the weather, you know what I mean? All right, let's break it down a bit more. When air rises, it cools. But what's interesting is that as the air cools, it can't hold as much moisture. So the moisture starts to condense around tiny particles like dust, forming tiny droplets. Those are building blocks of cloud. And as these clouds grow larger, as more and more water vapor condenses, once they're heavy enough, they start to fall as rain. And depending on the temperature, that rain could be snow, sleet, or hail. Storms don't just happen. They're like nature's big chemistry project. Okay, so now we know how storms form. But here's the fun part. Let's talk about lightning. You might think of lightning as nature's way of throwing a temper tantrum. Kind of like someone over here. But it's actually a huge electrical discharge. Want to see how it works? Meet my little friend, the Tesla coil. Look at lightning. It's just like what happens in thunderstorms, only on a much, much smaller scale. So how does this happen in nature? Well, inside a thundercloud, the air is moving so fast that it creates separation of electrical charges. The top of the cloud becomes positively charged, and the bottom becomes negative. And when the difference in the charge becomes big enough, lightning strikes. The thunder you hear right after the lightning is caused by the rapid expansion of air that has been superheated by the lightning. Think of it like a mini explosion, a mini shockwave of air shooting out from the lightning bolt. Pretty wild, right? Popping sound from the Tesla coil is created the same way thunder is, only on a much smaller scale. It's caused from rapidly heating the air, which causes it to expand very quickly, which causes it to pop. In our case of storms, the same thing happens when the lightning heats up the air around it, which rapidly expands the air. And
boom! Boom! Bye!
Thank you for watching another episode of Aurora's Little Lab. Please like and subscribe.